I never thought I'd be writing this, but I need some advice. I'm Sam, 28M, and I'm caught in a complicated situation involving my fiancée Myra, 27F, and my best friend Nathan, 29M. It's a mess that's been years in the making, and I'm at a loss for what to do. To understand the full picture, I need to take you back to the beginning. Nathan and I met in 6th grade when we were paired up for a science project. We bonded over our shared love of Star Wars and spent countless hours debating which was the best movie in the series. From that day on, we were inseparable. Throughout middle and high school, Nathan was always the outgoing one. He had a natural charisma that drew people to him, while I was more reserved and socially awkward. Nathan never left me behind though. He dragged me to parties, introducing me to new people and helping me come out of my shell. By the time we graduated high school, I had Nathan to thank for my small but solid group of friends. We both got into state university and decided to be roommates. College was an exciting time for us. Nathan joined a fraternity, while I focused more on my studies and joined the chess club. Despite our different interests, we always made time for each other. Every Friday night, without fail, we'd have a movie marathon in our dorm room, complete with microwave popcorn and cheap beer. It was during our sophomore year that Myra entered our lives. She was a transfer student from California, with long brown hair and the most infectious laugh I'd ever heard. Nathan spotted her first in our shared economics class and was immediately smitten. He spent weeks working up the courage to ask her out, and when he finally did, she said yes. Their relationship was intense from the start. Myra was passionate and free-spirited, a perfect match for Nathan's adventurous nature. They'd go on spontaneous road trips, crash parties, and have heated debates about everything from politics to pizza toppings. But with their passion came volatility. They'd have explosive arguments that would shake the walls of our dorm, followed by equally passionate reconciliations. I often found myself in the middle, playing mediator when things got too heated. It was exhausting, but I cared about both of them and wanted to see them happy. Despite the drama, there were good times too. The three of us would often hang out together, and I grew to consider Myra a close friend. After about 6 months, Nathan and Myra had their worst fight yet. I never got the full details, but it had something to do with Nathan's ex-girlfriend showing up at a party. Harsh words were exchanged, accusations were made, and by the end of it, their relationship was over for good. Nathan was devastated. He put on a brave face in public, but behind closed doors, he was a wreck. I spent countless nights listening to him vent and cry over Myra. He'd alternate between anger and despair, sometimes in the same sentence. It was during this time that I realized how deeply Nathan had fallen for Myra, and how much the breakup had shaken him. As Nathan struggled to move on, Myra and I started to become closer friends. It started innocently enough. We'd grab coffee between classes or study together in the library. I found myself drawn to her intelligence and quirky sense of humor. She had a way of seeing the world that was both cynical and hopeful, and I loved hearing her perspectives on life. About a year after Nathan and Myra's breakup, something shifted between us. We were at a mutual friend's birthday party, and as the night wore on, we found ourselves deep in conversation. The rest of the party faded away as we talked about our hopes, our fears, and our dreams for the future. At the end of the night, as I walked her back to her dorm, she kissed me. I was shocked and thrilled, but also immediately guilty. I knew Nathan wasn't over Myra, and I worried about how this would affect our friendship. Myra and I agreed to keep things quiet for a while as we figured out our feelings. For the next few weeks, Myra and I met in secret. We'd go for long walks in the park or have picnics in secluded spots on campus. I felt like I was living in a bubble of happiness, but the guilt was always there, nagging at the back of my mind. Finally, after about a month, we decided we needed to tell Nathan. I was terrified of losing my best friend, but I knew I couldn't keep lying to him. We sat him down in our dorm room and broke the news. To my surprise and relief, Nathan seemed genuinely happy for us. He said he was over Myra and glad that his two best friends had found each other. He hugged us both and joked about being our wingman. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. For the next few years, everything seemed perfect. Myra and I grew closer, and our relationship deepened. Nathan remained a constant in our lives, and the three of us often hung out together. We all graduated, found jobs in the same city, and continued to be a tight-knit group. Last year, I decided to propose to Myra. I spent months planning the perfect proposal, enlisting Nathan's help to make it special. On a crisp autumn evening, I took Myra to the rooftop garden where we had our first official date. With the city lights twinkling below us and soft music playing in the background, I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. She said yes, and as we embraced, Nathan appeared with champagne to celebrate with us. I asked Nathan to be my best man, and he enthusiastically accepted. He threw himself into planning my bachelor party and helping with wedding preparations. He was the friend I'd always known him to be, supportive, enthusiastic, and always ready with a joke to lighten the mood when wedding stress got to be too much. But about 2 months ago, things started to change. Nathan began acting strange around Myra. He'd make odd comments about their past relationship or bring up inside jokes they used to share. At first, I brushed it off as nostalgia, but it kept happening more frequently. Then, last week, everything fell apart. Myra came to me in tears after a mutual friend's birthday party. She said Nathan had cornered her at the party and confessed that he still had feelings for her. He told her he'd never stop loving her and that marrying me would be a mistake. Myra was shocked and immediately left the party to tell me. I confronted Nathan the next day. To his credit, he didn't try to deny it. He admitted to everything Myra had told me. He said he'd been suppressing his feelings for years and couldn't bear to see Myra marry someone else, even if it was me. He begged me to understand, saying he couldn't help how he felt. I was furious. I felt betrayed by my best friend of over 15 years. All those times he'd supported our relationship, helped with the proposal and wedding planning, had it all been an act? I told Nathan I needed space and that he was no longer welcome at the wedding. He left, looking devastated, and I haven't spoken to him since. Now, I'm torn. Part of me wants to forgive Nathan. We've been through so much together, and I know how much Myra hurt him in the past. I remember how broken he was after their breakup, and I wonder if he ever truly got over her. But another part of me is angry and feels like this is an unforgivable breach of trust. He's had years to come to terms with Myra and I being together. Why wait until now, when we're about to get married, to bring this up? And to go behind my back and confess his feelings to Myra, it feels like a betrayal of our friendship. Myra is understandably uncomfortable around Nathan now and doesn't want him at our wedding. She says she feels guilty, even though she did nothing wrong. I hate seeing her upset and knowing that my best friend caused this pain. I'm also worried about how this will affect our wider friend group. Nathan and I share many mutual friends, some going back to high school. I don't want to force them to choose sides, but I also don't know if I can be around Nathan right now without feeling angry and betrayed. Our wedding is in 3 months, and what should be a joyous time is now overshadowed by this drama. I'm struggling to focus on work, and Myra and I have been arguing more as the stress of the situation takes its toll. Am I overreacting? Should I try to salvage my friendship with Nathan, or is this the end of our bond? How do I protect my relationship with Myra while navigating this mess? Any advice would be appreciated. Update 1. It's been about a month since my last post, and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their advice and support. It really helped me gain perspective on the situation. After much thought and several long conversations with Myra, I decided to meet with Nathan to hear him out fully. We agreed to meet at Oakwood Park, where we used to hang out as kids. It felt fitting, given the history of our friendship. When I arrived at the park, I found Nathan sitting on our old favorite bench, the one near the duck pond. He looked terrible, like he hadn't been sleeping well. As I approached, he stood up, a mix of hope and apprehension on his face. We started walking around the pond, an awkward silence hanging between us. Finally, Nathan broke the ice. He started by apologizing profusely. He admitted that his actions were selfish and inexcusable. He explained that seeing Myra and me so happy together had stirred up old feelings he thought were long buried. Then Nathan revealed something I hadn't known. He said he'd been struggling with depression for the past year. He'd lost his job 6 months ago and had been too ashamed to tell anyone. The stress of unemployment, combined with seeing Myra and me plan our wedding, had sent him into a downward spiral. While I appreciated his honesty, I told Nathan that his mental health issues didn't excuse his behavior. I explained how hurt and betrayed I felt, not just for myself but for Myra too. Nathan listened and nodded, tears in his eyes. Just when I thought the conversation couldn't get any more intense, Nathan dropped a bombshell. He confessed that he'd been seeing Myra's younger sister, Lily, 24F, secretly for the past 3 months. Apparently, they'd reconnected at our engagement party and hit it off. Nathan said he felt guilty about the relationship, which added to his emotional turmoil and contributed to his outburst towards Myra. I was shocked. This revelation added a whole new layer of complexity to the situation. I asked Nathan why he hadn't told me about Lily sooner. He said he was afraid of how I'd react, given the history with Myra, and he wasn't sure if the relationship would last. As we continued walking, Nathan opened up more about his relationship with Lily. He said she'd been a source of support during his depression, encouraging him to seek help and even helping him find job leads. He said he was starting to develop real feelings for her, which made him feel even more guilty about his outburst towards Myra. After our talk, I went home to discuss everything with Myra. She was as surprised as I was about Nathan and Lily. She admitted that Lily had been acting strange lately, canceling their weekly sister lunches and being evasive about her plans, but Myra hadn't suspected it was because of a relationship with Nathan. Myra and I spent hours talking about the situation. We both felt hurt and betrayed by Nathan's actions, but we also recognized the complicated emotions at play. We talked about our own relationship and how this situation had affected us. Myra confessed that she'd been having doubts about the wedding, not because of Nathan's confession, but because of the stress it had put on our relationship. This admission led to a deep, honest conversation about our future together. We reaffirmed our love for each other and our commitment to making our relationship work. We decided that while we couldn't have Nathan at our wedding as planned, we didn't want to cut him out of our lives entirely. We came up with a compromise. We told Nathan that he was welcome to attend the wedding as a guest, but not as my best man. We also asked him to keep his distance from Myra at the event and to bring Lily as his date to avoid any awkwardness. Nathan accepted our terms, clearly relieved that he hadn't lost us completely. He promised to respect our boundaries and to work on himself to be a better friend. He also shared that he'd started seeing a therapist to work through his depression and other issues. As for Lily, Myra had a long talk with her sister. Lily apologized for keeping her relationship with Nathan a secret and promised to be more open in the future. She also assured Myra that her feelings for Nathan were genuine and not just a way to get back at her sister. The situation is still tense, but it feels like we're moving in a positive direction. Our friend group has been understanding, and no one has felt forced to choose sides. Some friends have even shared their own stories of complicated relationships, which has helped us all feel less alone in this messy situation. Myra and I have decided to postpone our wedding by a few months. We want to give ourselves time to heal and strengthen our relationship before taking this big step. We're also using this time to reconnect with each other, going on dates and remembering why we fell in love in the first place. As for Nathan, he's thrown himself into his job search and therapy. He calls once a week to check in, always respectful of our boundaries. It's a slow process, but I can see glimpses of my old friend emerging. Our wedding is now set for next spring, and while it won't be exactly as we planned, Myra and I are focusing on our love for each other. We're determined not to let this drama overshadow our special day. I'll update again after the wedding. Thank you all again for your support and advice. It's been a challenging month, but I feel hopeful about the future. Update 2. It's been 3 months since my last update, and I'm writing this from a beachside cafe in Bali, where Myra and I are honeymooning. A lot has happened, and I want to share it all with you. First, the wedding. Despite all the drama leading up to it, the day itself was beautiful. We chose a small, intimate ceremony in a local botanical garden. The weather was perfect, sunny with a gentle breeze that made the flowers dance. Myra looked stunning in her flowing white dress, and I felt like the luckiest man alive. As we exchanged vows, I saw tears in her eyes, mirroring my own. In that moment, all the stress and drama of the past few months melted away. It was just us, promising to love and support each other through whatever life throws our way. Nathan attended as a guest with Lily, as we'd agreed. He kept his distance from Myra and behaved respectfully throughout the event. I could see the mix of emotions on his face, happiness for us, tinged with a bit of sadness and regret. But he made an effort to be genuinely supportive, even sharing a heartfelt congratulations with us at the reception. However, the real drama unfolded later at the reception. My cousin Alex, 26M, who took over as best man, got drunk and decided to make an impromptu speech. He started rambling about Nathan and Myra's past relationship, clearly unaware of the recent tensions. The room went silent, and I could see Nathan squirming in his seat, while Myra gripped my hand tightly under the table. Just as I was about to intervene, Lily stood up. She calmly but firmly told Alex to sit down and then proceeded to give a beautiful toast to Myra and me. She talked about the strength of our relationship and how love can overcome any obstacle. It was a touching moment that diffused the tension and brought tears to many eyes, including mine. After the wedding, Myra and I left for our honeymoon. We spent 2 weeks traveling around Europe, enjoying each other's company and the start of our married life. It was during this trip that Myra shared some surprising news with me. Remember how I mentioned that Nathan had been struggling with depression? Well, it turns out that Lily is a psychologist specializing in relationship counseling. She had been helping Nathan work through his issues, which is how they initially grew close. Myra found out about this from her parents, who Lily had confided in. This information put things in a new perspective. While it didn't excuse Nathan's behavior, it helped explain some of his actions. Myra and I agreed that we were glad Nathan was getting help, even if the circumstances were complicated. When we returned from our honeymoon, we invited Nathan and Lily over for dinner. It was a bit awkward at first, but as the evening progressed, we all relaxed. Nathan apologized again for his past behavior and shared that he's been making progress in his therapy sessions with a different psychologist, to avoid any ethical issues with Lily. Myra and Nathan had a private conversation, which they both described as healing. They were able to address some unresolved issues from their past relationship and clear the air. Myra said she felt like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. As for Nathan and Lily, their relationship seems to be going strong. They recently moved in together and are talking about getting a dog. It's still a bit strange to see them as a couple, but I'm getting used to it. Our friend group has adjusted to the new dynamics. There are still moments of tension, but overall, things are much better than they were a few months ago. Myra and I are settling into married life and focusing on our future together. We're talking about buying a house and starting a family in the next year or two. Despite all the challenges, our relationship has grown stronger through this experience. I'm grateful for the support and advice I received here. It helped me navigate a difficult situation and come out the other side with my marriage and friendships intact. Life is rarely simple, but with communication, understanding, and a willingness to work through issues, it's possible to overcome even the most complicated situations. Update 3. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I'm back with some unexpected news. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them, and we've certainly been hit with a few. First, the good news. Myra and I bought our first house together. It's a charming 3-bedroom cottage with a big backyard, perfect for the family we hope to start soon. We've been busy decorating and making it our own. It feels amazing to have a place that's truly ours. We've also been focusing on our careers. Myra got a promotion at her marketing firm, and I've started a new project at my software company. It's been exciting to see each other grow professionally while supporting each other at home. Now, for the more complicated stuff. Remember how I mentioned that Lily was helping Nathan with his depression? Well, it turns out their relationship wasn't as solid as we thought. About 2 months ago, Lily came to us in tears. She confessed that she and Nathan had broken up. The reason? Nathan had kissed Myra's best friend, Emma, 27F, at a party. Lily caught them and immediately ended things. She was devastated and felt betrayed, especially given how hard she'd worked to help Nathan through his issues. Myra and I were shocked. We thought Nathan had moved past his destructive behavior, but clearly, he still had a lot of work to do. Myra was furious, both for her sister's sake and because Emma had betrayed her trust. We decided to confront Nathan together. He broke down and admitted to the kiss, saying he'd been drunk and made a terrible mistake. He swore it meant nothing and that he loved Lily, but the damage was done. As for Emma, she called Myra to apologize. She said she'd always had a crush on Nathan and got carried away in the moment. Myra told her she needed time and space to process this betrayal. The fallout from this incident has been significant. Our friend group is once again in turmoil. Some people are angry at Nathan, others are disappointed in Emma, and everyone feels horrible for Lily. Myra and I have found ourselves in the middle of it all, trying to support Lily while also processing our own feelings of disappointment and frustration with Nathan. We've decided to distance ourselves from him for now. It's clear he needs to work on himself before he can be a good friend or partner to anyone. Lily has been staying with us while she looks for a new apartment. It's been good to have her around, and Myra has enjoyed reconnecting with her sister. They've been going to yoga classes together and planning a sister's trip for later this year. As for Nathan, last we heard, he's finally agreed to intensive therapy. He reached out to apologize again, but we've asked him to give us space. We're not sure what the future holds for our friendship, but for now, we need to focus on healing and moving forward. This whole experience has taught us a lot about the complexities of relationships, the importance of trust, and the need for personal growth. Myra and I are grateful that our bond has remained strong through all of this. If anything, these challenges have brought us closer together. We're looking forward to the future, focusing on our new home and our plans to start a family. Life may be unpredictable, but we're facing it together, stronger than ever. Thank you all for your support throughout this journey. Your advice and kind words have been a source of strength during some tough times. I'm not sure if I'll update again, but I wanted to share this final chapter of our story. Here's to hoping for calmer waters ahead.